Hello, everybody. It's Friday night. This is Eve, Eve's Creations Paint Party, coming to you from my humble abode. Let's say hi to the butters. What? Let's say hi to the little man, because he might be chiming in later on. Hi, buddy. There he is. He's a good boy. So, say hello if you're painting with us. Let me know if anyone's painting with you. We'll get this party started. Get your supplies together. Yep. Let's rock this. Here we go. Say hello if you're painting. Welcome. Hello. Hello. Trying to position this to a good spot so everybody can see what I'm doing. Move this closer. Hey, Hannah. Hi, love. Just you tonight? Alright, that's cool. That's awesome. They could totally do that. We'll still make fun of Dustin, though. You know that. You know we will. We'll figure out a way. Hello, Darcy. Hello. How have you been? What's going on? Hi, sweetheart. Haven't seen you in a good minute. What you been up to? Darce? Hey. Hello, everybody. Fall Tree is in the house. It is in the house. This is what we're doing. Yep. The weapons this evening. Bigger boy. He's a 1-inch flat. Oh, that sounds very exciting, Darcy. Very exciting. Very exciting. I hear you on that one. We have Fluffy. Fluffy's just any beat up old bristly brush, stiff bristles. Okay? Large Fluffy in the house tonight. And of course, Tiny. Tiny's for the details. He's a very small round brush. Alright, tonight, put Fluffy and Tiny in the water, but leave Big Boy out, okay? And to clean your brushes is going to be a swirl, a tap, a dab on the paper towel. Do not clean your brushes unless I instruct you to. And when you dab them on the paper towel, you want to go in the shape of your bristles. But do not put Big Boy in the water just yet. We're going to need him. We're going to need him dry. So make sure he stays dry. Okay? And Fluffy and Tiny can go in the water. Hey, Gail. Good to see you, hon. And of course, after just telling you that, I put my Big Boy in the water, so I'll just grab another one. That is the benefit of having a paint party business. So, welcome to Eve's Creations Paint Party. I am Eve. I'm going to pour my paint. Same colors every week. 3 primaries, red, blue, yellow, and black and white. We're going to get all these amazing colors off of that one simple palette. I will show you how, no worries. Say hello. I got Hannah and Darcy in the house. Gail is checking us out. Hey, Gail. Missed you, doll. Where you been, huh? Let's give a few more minutes for more people to log on, and I'm going to go pour my paint. hello, hello. Hi, Donna. How you doing, sweetie? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, Gail. Hey, Donna. Hannah and Darcy are in the house painting with us tonight. Can't wait to see your paintings. Got my palette all ready. Yellow, red, black, white, and blue. That's what we're working with. That's what we work with every single party. So here's the painting for this evening. Very creative name I gave it. I called it Fall Tree. Hey, Linda. Hey, Pat. Hello, 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 everybody. So I cannot show you both at once. So if you need a reference, take a screenshot. You will get a reference and you'll be all set. There. I think you guys can see it really well right there. So, say hello, hello, hello if you're painting with me. Say hello, hello, hello if you're just hanging out. That's cool too. I'm grabbing my usual drink, my soda. Hello, oh, I'm gonna botch this one. I'm a really bad name botcher. Canupriya? Canupriya. Hello, Canupriya. Did I get that right? I hope I got that right. Hey, hey, Julie. How you doing, love? Canupriya, if I messed that up completely, I do apologize. I am really bad at names. I botch them every single time. Just ask my friend Megna and her friend Hamsini. I didn't get their names right for about 4 weeks. So, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, Julie. Hello, hello, everybody. Oh, awesome, Heather. Well, welcome to the family, sweetheart. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hello, hello. Hey, hey, fam. We got a new member in the house. It's Heather. And Canupriya is new to us. And Darcy and Hannah are old hats to me, so they'll help you out if I confuse you. But I don't think I will. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I totally want to see it, Heather. You have to post it so I can see it. Post it to the event. Hello, hello, hello. Heather watched a replay. All my replays are always available on my business page. Completely free to watch over and over and over again. So, hey, hey, hey. Get your paint together. Get your weapons for the evening. It's going to be big boy. Haha, perfect. Thank you so much. We're going to be using big boy, tiny, and a large fluffy tonight. Leave big boy out of the water though, nice and dry. Put tiny and fluffy in the water. Awesome, awesome. Welcome to the family, Heather. We're all family here. Canupriya, welcome to you too. Darcy and Hannah, what's up, my sisters? Glad you guys are joining me. Say hello, hello, hello. Gonna give it a few more minutes, let more people log on, and then we'll get started. Same paint every single party, so you guys can get that together too. And I'm grabbing my very fancy soda that I drink all the time. You guys know me and my soda. They're gonna put that on my epitaph. Here lies Coca-Cola. Can't wait to see your rocky lips. Those are probably amazing. Puckers. Call them the puckers. Okay, ladies, this is your party, so you let me know when you're ready to go. Yeah, Hannah, what's up with that, huh? What's up with that? Missing my parties. How dare you? I'm going to have to beat Dustin up for that. I don't know why I'm beating up Dustin, but just sounded fun. Hannah, watch the replays. It's all good. You're here tonight. Hello, Carol. How you doing, sweetie? Good to see you, Carol. Good to see you. So, tonight we have lovely fall tree. And next week, I know next week is stirring up a lot of excitement. This is next week. What? There's a lot of excitement stirring up over this painting. Hope you guys are ready to paint your little tails off with this one. There's a lot going on in here. There's a lot going on in this one, but we can do it. We can definitely do it together as a family. Absolutely. Yeah, this one's stirring up a lot of excitement, Hannah. A lot of excitement around this one. So, that's next week. I haven't been feeling very well this week, so I'm going with a nice simple fall tree for you guys all tonight. And next week we'll tackle that bad boy. Long weeks of school, huh? Well, that happens. That happens. That's what the replays are for. So you ladies, Hannah, Darcy, Kanupriya, and Heather, let me know when you're ready and we'll get started. And we'll get started. This is your party. So Heather, I know you're new to us, and Kanupriya, if you have any questions for me, definitely post them. I will answer them. My phone lags a little bit, but I will definitely answer your questions. If we're painting and you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask, okay? Because I will hook you up. Hannah's ready. Hannah's ready in the house. All right, guys, so Darcy's ready. Awesome. So this is a 16 by 20 that I paint on. If you're painting on something smaller, adjust accordingly. I go one hand over, two hands down for measurements. So obviously if you're on a smaller canvas, that would be like a couple of fingers. Just make sure you're in the same general area on your canvas as I am on mine. Kanupriya is ready. I hope I'm getting your name right, love. And we'll get started. We're holding our canvases straight up and down tonight. Straight up and down. Straight up and down. Just like that. Let me secure this bad boy in here so I don't wind up tipping it over. There. Nice and sturdy. Nice and sturdy for everybody. Let's see if I can't straighten it up. There we go. There we go. Now you guys are cooking, boy. All right. So, we're going to start with large fluffy. Let me lower that music so I'm not screaming at you. The music does get me popping, but I don't want to be screaming at you all. You don't want to hear me screaming. Alright, we're starting off with large fluffy. Large fluffy is just a beat up bristly brush. Very stiff bristles, very beat up. Any old brush you have at home. When you swirl tap dab him, when you dab him, I want you to smush him into your paper towel. Smush, 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 smush. And when you smush him into your paper towel, he'll get nice and fluffy. That's why he's called Fluffy. I love this brush. It's one of my favorites. You can do a lot of cool things. And you want to keep Bigger Boy, the 1-inch flat brush, out of your water for now. Nice and dry. Okay? And I'll show you why in a minute. So, very simply, when you grab your paint, grab from the sides. Don't kerplunk right in the center because you will ruin all your paint and not be able to use it. So, grab it from the sides. And we're going to start off with blue and white. That's it. Blue and white. And you're going to go on your canvas and you're just going to do swirls like that. That's all. We're just swirling. That's all you're doing. And we're going to do the entire canvas like this. So blue and white. And you're going to swirl. And the reason we're doing this with Fluffy is because Fluffy adds a texture. And he can hold a lot of paint on the brush. So you can just load this brush up and cover a large space, a large area of color. So blue and white. And it's your sky. You can have it as dark or as light as you want it to be. Doesn't really matter to me. It is your sky. It's your sky. Any way you want it. Any way you want it. That's the way you want it. Any way you want it. Oh, I just dated myself with that one, didn't I? Hannah, Priya, and Heather, you'll get used to me. Hannah and Darcy are already used to me. I just sing random stuff and then you find out why I paint. So, we are just swirling with Fluffy, filling this all in. Filling this all in very quickly. Very quickly, because we want this paint to stay wet for the next step, okay? So very, very, very quickly, just fill this in. And you don't have to make it all the same color throughout the thing. If you noticed, I used more blue right there. I'm just smushing it all into the other paint that was already on the canvas. So you don't have to make it all the same color. It's alright, just grab the paint and get it on there. Right? You just keep smushing it around in swirly motions. That's all. Nothing hard there. Hey Lindsay, how you doing, hon? Nothing hard there. Your hand will probably start hurting by the time you're done, especially if you're working on a big canvas. But that's okay. I give out doctor's notes if you need them. If you want to paint your sides, go right ahead. You can paint your sides. Some people like to paint their sides. I'm a little lazy when it comes to that. I do it anyway because my mom tells me to. Yes, I still listen to my mother. Right? Doesn't matter how old you are, you never stop listening to your mom. That's for sure. That is for sure. And I'm literally just smushing this all into the other paint. And see all these fun little swirly things I'm getting? And I'm not doing anything special. I'm just grabbing blue and white paint. Not even paying attention to how much I'm grabbing. I'm grabbing a lot of it. And I'm literally just smushing it and smearing it around using circular motions. For the most part. Because my hand's getting kind of tired. But circular motions. Adding a lot of fun texture to this. And we want to do this a little quick because we want this to be a little wet for the next step, okay? So you have to move a little quickly on this one. And like I said, if you wind up grabbing a different color than before, you just mush it into what you already had on there. Swirl it up. Swirl it up, people. Swirl it up. The more you swirl around, the more blended it'll get. Swirling it on up. Yeah, see this white that I just grabbed? It's looking really light against that. Look, I'm just going to swirl it right into what I already painted. See that? See that? Just swirling it around. That's all. And the more you swirl around, the more it'll blend in. And then just like that, it looks like there's some sort of cloudy thing going on over there. We're not doing anything crazy. We're just swirling paint. All we're doing. Nothing going on here. Heather and Ken O'Priya, I'm so glad you guys joined me tonight. Hello, hello. And we got Darcy and Hannah out there. Hey, girls. Hi, girls. So Darcy's been working hard. Hannah's had long weeks at school. You guys are ready just to chill and to paint. Nice and easy. Heather watched one of my replay, and yay, I did good because you came back. So hello. Where are you guys from? Gotta let me know where you're from. Gotta let me know where you're from, that's for sure. Priya, Heather. Hannah's, Hannah. Do I remember? Hannah, you're from, hold on, don't tell me. Starts with an M. Hold on. I could be totally, for some reason I want to say Connecticut, and I'm probably so wrong with that. Maryland? Maybe? I don't know. And, well, Darcy's easy. Darcy's in New Jersey. Canada in the house. Oh, yeah. That's what I like to hear. We're international, baby. Well, Priya, welcome very, 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 very much. Welcome to the family, sweetheart. Welcome to the family. Canada in the house. Alright, so we got that all swirled on just like that, right? Now, if you need more, Virginia, how did I completely screw that up, Hannah? I was going north instead of south. Are we surprised? We are not surprised, are we? Absolutely not. Alright, so once you're done with that, you're going to take Fluffy, and you're just going to take your paper towel, and you're just going to pull all the globs out of them. Just pull all the globby paint out of them. Because like I said, he holds a lot of paint. So it's okay if the blue's still in there, but you want to just mash him back up and get all that globby paint out. Virginia, oh my goodness. I'm telling you. This is why I need Megna. Megna's not going to be here tonight. This is why I need her, though. Alright, if you need white paint, go grab some more. Alright, so this next step, you're going to be using 2 brushes. Big boy is still dry, nice and soft, okay? Fluffy, all messed up, just the way we like him. You are going to grab your white paint just with the tips of Fluffy. Just the tips. Just the tip. And then you're going to turn around. White and blue, smush it all, swirl it all, Nancy. White and blue, swish it all and swirl it all. Hey, love. With Big Fluffy, all we did was blue and white and swirl. Mush it all together. So, you're going to grab your white paint with just the tip of Fluffy, and you're going to smush, smush, smush. And don't worry about this stamp, Nancy. I'll show it again. So this way the paint is just in the tip. For now, Nancy, you're going to do Big Fluffy, a lot of paint on your brush, white and blue, smushing and swirling. Okay? So, once you have it like that, with an extremely light touch, you're going to turn around and put swirls. Now, once you have those on there, you're just going to bounce them around. And see how I didn't grab any more paint? I'm just pushing this around. That's all I'm doing. It's up to you. If you want it softened, now you take Big Boy, nice and soft and dry, and you just run that over the top. Extremely soft. Barely touching it. Barely, 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 barely touching it. And that'll soften it right out. If you don't want to soften it, that's fine. Personal preference. But I'm using extremely light touches. I'm barely touching my canvas. I'm barely putting any paint on. Alright? So, Fluffy, all messed up. White paint. Just on the tips. Hey, Julia. Okay. I'll see you guys later. lightly on your canvas, swirl it around. It's all good. It's all good, Julie. Lightly swirl it around like that. Take your nice dry big boy and just, you could pull straight up. Very, very light. Pull straight up. And it'll soften that right out. So, it's the same step over and over again. So, fluffy, white paint, just on the tip. Smush, smush, smush. Swirl it on here. Bounce around. We don't want any square clouds. Bounce around, guys. No squares. Keep smushing it around. Keep blending it. Okay? Once you have that, very, very light touch. You just go straight up. And that'll soften all out. Now, you can have as many of these or as little as these as you want. I'm going to do these until Nancy catches up. And Tammy and Julia get home if they're joining me. And you just keep having fun with this, okay? It's not hard to do, and it makes something really cool. And that's why we want to do this quickly, so it's still a little bit wet. Even if it's not a little bit wet, that's okay. You just keep, see this swirling motion I'm doing? That's it. You just keep doing that swirling motion. And make sure you bounce around. And then fluffy, light, light touch. Pull straight up. This is some Bob Ross stuff right here, guys. That's what this is. This is some hardcore stuff. It's not hard. It's just hardcore. There's a difference. It's not hard to do at all. Very light touch. Doing swirls around. Very little paint. Smallest amount of paint possible. Swirl it all around. Nice, dry, soft brush. Pull straight up. That's it. That's it. So, have fun with that. I'll repeat the instructions if you need me to. Now, you can make these spots as bright white as you want, or as soft as you want. If you want them to be a little brighter, you just stop swirling on top of them. Okay? If you want them to be softer, you swirl around a lot. So, I'll show you one that's a little brighter. Same technique. Make sure you bounce around. Make sure you bounce around. And now I'm just going to stop swirling on it. Nice soft brush. Lightly pull straight up. Softens it all out. So if you want it a little brighter, go right ahead. Kristen, it doesn't matter, Julia. So it's up to you. Just keep practicing these, because you know what? Majority of them are going to get hid by the tree anyway. So just have fun with this. You can use this technique for a lot of different skies out there. A lot of your other paintings, you're like, how do they get those pretty soft clouds into their sky like that? Well, this is it, people. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. And all I'm doing is swirly motions. A little bit of paint. Smushing it on in there. What did that say, Nancy? Try that again, Nan. Try that again. Very soft touch. Nice, dry, soft bristled brush. Pull straight up. Try typing that again, Nan, because I didn't understand what you wrote. Oh, no idea what you wrote. Now, my kitchen cabinets were just stained like the other day, and I'm breathing all that in right now, so if I get a little loopy, you know why. Because it's really, really strong smelling for some reason. Alright. Just like that. We're making clouds, people. Yes. Yes, we are. We're making clouds. What is the pick? Oh, okay. Here you go. See? I told you if you mess these clouds up, we're covering up most of them. So, fall tree, Nan. See all those clouds behind it? But like I said, this is fun to practice. And if you screw any of it up, you can cover it with tree. You know I always give a uh-oh out to all my paintings. But this is something you can do to other paintings of yours. And it looks really cool. And it's really easy to do. Really easy to do. You guys having fun with this? I can do this all day. I can do this all day. Making clouds. All day. So, now you guys know how to make the most awesome looking cloudy sky. And it doesn't take very much at all. Alright, and with that, you put Fluffy in your water. Say goodnight to Fluffy. We're done with him. You can put Big Boy in the water. Say, clean up, Big Boy, because we need you. Alright. Let me know when you guys are ready for tree instruction. Now, on a bunch of my other videos, I've already taught you how to paint trees. Some of you are new to join me, and I will repeat the same instructions for you again. I'm not just going to turn around and slap a tree up here and be like, you guys should know how to do this. Some of you should, though. Tammy, Julia, Hannah, Darcy, you probably did a tree. Nancy, you should know, but that's all right. I'll show you guys again. That's what I do. And they're really fun, and they're really simple, and they come out really cool. So, while you guys are finishing up your clouds, I'll go over the parts of tree, remember? Here's your tree, okay? 5 parts to a tree. And each one, you start off with the thickest, and you get thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner as you go along. All right, the thickest part, the trunk. This should always, always, always be thicker than the rest of your tree. So if you paint a branch and it came out super thick, make your trunk bigger. right? So trunk is first, the thickest part. Next part is branches. Like maybe there's 4 parts. Trunk, branch, limb, twig. All right, 4 parts. Anyway, there's 4 parts. But anyway, here you go. Trunk is the thickest. Still the same rules. Doesn't matter how many parts there are. All right, if I make the leaves the 5th part, I'm back to being correct, all right? But we're not going to go there because you guys know I mess up all the time. And it's cool. That's why we're family. So, trunk is the thickest. Branches, these big things coming off of your trunk, are the next thickest. Then, I know what it is. These are limbs. Got it. I'm botching this whole thing up. That's okay, because you guys will still know how to paint a tree when I'm done. Stop laughing at me, Hannah. Trunk, limbs, branches, twigs. All right? Trunk, limbs, branches, twigs. All right? Trunk is the thickest. Limbs are the next. Then you do your branches, these guys coming off. And then you do your twigs, these little tiny things right there. All right? If you are drawing a branch and it winds up being bigger than your limb, you got to make your limb bigger, which in pose could wind up having to make your trunk bigger. But that is the basics of the tree. Trunk is the thickest, limbs are the next, branches are next, twigs are the tiniest. Okay? This is always the thickest. If this comes out thicker than this, fix it. If this comes out thicker than this, fix it. Okay? Did you guys follow that? I really hope you did. I know I have explained it much better than that in the past. I'm going to blame the stain fumes. That's what I'm going to blame. But my kitchen is starting to look really, really nice. Just to let you know. Alright, swirl tap that big boy after that whole fiasco. Swirl tap that big boy. And when you dry big boy, when you dab them on your paper towel, you want to make sure you go in the direction of the brush. Alright? You're going with black paint. You can grab some black paint, pull it nice and thin. Nice and thin, see? Nice and thin. You're going to hold your brush back here, control freaks. Back here. You're going to go perpendicular to your canvas. That means straight on, like this. This trunk is very long and crooked, so we don't have to worry about making anything straight. You're going to start off in this corner. Hands back here, control freaks. Perpendicular to canvas. Start off in this corner. Pull your way out. And then turn the brush. Turn the brush, leaving it straight on. And then just pull it right up off your canvas. Okay? Now, if you screw that up and it comes out thick, that's okay. I'm having you practice for one of the other parts. Because obviously this is the trunk. It's going to be really thick. Alright? But you're going to practice that again because you're going to need it for your other parts. And take your flat brush. Paint just on the tip. Pull it across your palette. Or your paper plate, whatever you got. Nice and thin. Hold back here. Perpendicular to the canvas. Now you can start this one in the same general spot. When you get to a curve, you want to churn your fingers, not the brush. Churn your fingers. turn my fingers. I'm just going to follow this all the way up and then run it into itself. Alright, just because you're practicing. Alright. Once you have that, you can color it in. You can color it in. And you could fix it, schmooze it if you want to. It's fine. So, I'm just coloring in. And for the sides, I'm using the flat of that brush. Alright, easy peasy lemon squeezy, guys. Don't overthink it. Trees are not perfect. Just like humans. They're a little wonky. They're all different shapes and sizes. They're just the way they're supposed to be. Just like us. Beautifully unique. Alright. So color it in. Now, obviously, the more you play with it, the thicker it's going to get. That's okay. Because it is just the trunk. So, just color it in. Easy peasy over here. Nothing hard. Nothing hard. Alright, how's everybody doing? Hannah, Darcy, Canopriya, Heather, Nancy, how you guys all doing? Doing alright? Let me know if I'm going too fast, too slow, whatever. It's your party. It's your party. Now, the bottom of your trunk needs to be thicker than the top. So if you're playing with your sides over here, like I am, make sure your bottom stays thicker. Okay? So if you're playing with the sides of your trunk, make sure you thicken your trunk. Thicken the bottom, okay? Alright, Hannah's good. Darcy's good. Awesome. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. Alright. So now, big boy's all kind of jacked up here. So we're going to pull him through the paper towel and make him nice and flat again and thin. If he's got just too much paint in him, swirl tap dab him again. That's totally allowed too. Next step. Black paint. Pull on the side of your palette. It's the same step. Same step for the entire tree. Alright? Nice and flat and thin. Hold your brush back here. Now, you are going to follow along your trunk and then pull out from it. Okay? So, my first branch, big branch, is about a hand or so up. A big hand. So, like right about here. Like right after my little curve going on. I'm going to put it right here. So you follow along your trunk. You're straight up against the canvas again. Pull out from your trunk. Curve with your fingers. And just let it go. Right? Easy peasy. Right? Once you have that, turn around, follow from the trunk again. Do a little curve. Fill it in a little more. Nice, thick blend. Okay? Nice thin brush. Pull it on the side of your palette. Hold back here. if you totally screw this up and get something wonky, we can cover it. Don't stress. Alright, my next branch, limb, is about a hand up from that. I'm going to follow along my trunk, straight up against my canvas. I'm going to use my fingers to churn my brush. You want to keep it straight on and churning at the same time. A little bit of a skill set there. Straight on and churning with your fingers. Can't do that. You can kind of like do a curve like that if you want to, but make sure your brush is straight on. Follow along my trunk. Pull out. Let it go. Grab a little more paint. Follow along. Meet up with it. Nice thick limb. Now, that limb is looking thicker than my trunk right here, isn't it? So guess what I gotta do? You're right. I gotta make my trunk thicker. Well, how do we do that? We just add more paint to it, that's all. That's all we have to do. See that? Just like that, your tree's back to being proportional. Alright, next one. Next one comes right off of this one. It's pretty cool. A little bit of paint. I'm going to follow along this piece. And then I'm going to pull right off of it. Go out that way. Alrighty, guys. You getting the hang of this yet? Alright, next part's up here. So, I'm going to follow along where that attaches. My hand's always back here, and I'm always straight up against the canvas. I'm going to pull straight up from my trunk. And, of course, there's little clippy things in my way. So, and very carefully drop that in. Ah, that's looking a bit wonky, isn't it? So let's fix that. And then we made that thicker, so let's make our trunk thicker some more. Okay. And the next one is coming out from over here. Bam, just like that. And the next one's coming out from like over here. I don't know. Wherever you want. No two trees are the same. Just like us. That's why we're awesome. And then this has a little friend. So, oh, did I just say little friend? Oh my goodness. Sorry, Bob Ross. Stole your line. Alright. And I'm going to put another one here. Right? Now, any of these are thicker than your trunk, make your trunk thicker. Any of these are thicker than your trunk, you have to make your trunk thicker. Alright? And if your trunk, and then if you're making your trunk thicker, you have to make the bottom of it thicker. Okay? Now, I'm going to give Big Boy a good swirl tap dab because he's getting really goofy on me. Always dab in the shape of your bristles. I'm going to grab more black paint. Wipe it off on the sides. And I'm going to put in the smaller branches now. There we go. I'm getting it now, right? Trunk, limb, branches. Alright, so to put the branches, same instructions. Thin amount of paint, pull back here, straight up against my canvas, follow along your limb, and pull out. Follow along the limb and pull out. Alright, same thing over here. Follow along my limb and I'm going to pull out. Follow along, pull out. So, following along keeps you from getting what I call tree teeth. You guys ever see somebody's trees and their stuff sticking straight out? I call those tree teeth. So following along the one you already did keeps you from getting tree teeth. That's what it keeps you from getting. And the less you think, the better off you are. Nancy, Hannah, Darcy, Canapriya, Heather, the less you think about it, the better they're going to come out. Just hold your brush right up against your canvas, pull them along, pull out, nice light touch, and add these wherever you want. If you have one looking like a tooth, like that bad boy right there, you just add a little elbow on the bottom of them. See? That's all. So there we go. Just like that. You can add these wherever your little heart desires. It's your tree. Your tree. Your world. Do trees, limbs, and branches crisscross over each other? Yes, they do. So, don't be scared. Don't be scared to put a little one crisscrossing over another one. Don't be scared. It's all good. It's all good. And I'm doing, hey, Tammy, you guys home now? So I'm doing the same exact step over and over and over again. Thin amount of paint, holding back here, following along, straight up against my canvas. Same exact instructions, over and over and over, for every single little piece I'm doing. Every single little piece I'm doing, same exact instructions. Okay? And if you're looking, and if this is looking thicker than the rest of your tree trunk, guess what? Make your trunk thicker. That's all. And if you make your trunk thicker, you gotta make the bottom of the trunk even thicker. Alright, so if any of your stuff is being super, super thick, just keep going down the line and making everything else thicker. Alright, no worries. You know the tiny little guys? We're going to do them later with tiny, so don't worry about it. So, you guys finish filling all this in for yourselves. If you screw up and you get a big black blotchy part, right, because your brush jumped or you churned it and it just wasn't working out for you, you know, you guys practice and it's all good. And besides, if you have something, okay, Tammy, if you guys have something that kind of gets like a little away from you, we're putting all these colorful squares in. So, of course, you're going to have an opportunity to cover up anything you might have screwed up. Alright? So, don't worry about it. Alright, we need this to dry a little bit. So, I'm going to give it a minute. I'm going to put the music back on. Tammy, you're more than welcome to watch later. You know that. But you got to say hi to Heather, and you got to say hi to Canapria. They're new to our family. Heather painted the pucker, Rocky's pucker, with me. So, and she's back for more abuse. So say hello to everybody. And we got Darcy and Hannah's here, and of course my Nancy, my fancy Nancy's here. Alright guys, music. That's what I was fixing. Thanks for reminding me. Thanks for reminding me. I knew there was something I was supposed to be doing. Well, you are missed, Tammy, just to let you know. Miss running errands till last minute. Alright guys, when you're done with this, make sure you have clean white paint. And we need to let this dry a minute. Now this paint dries really, really, really fast, acrylic paint. If you notice, most of mine's dry already. So don't keep playing with it. Hear me, Hannah? Don't keep playing with it. And you guys can get super, super creative with this. I want you to. Ow. I just hit myself in the face with my painting. That really hurt. Think about what colors you want to do. Okay? These colors are a dark orange, a light orange, red, yellow, browns in there. But you don't have to do my colors. If you want a purple, blue, white tree, you can do that. You can do whatever colors your little heart desires. It's the same process. So you figure out what colors you want to do. You want to make sure that you have at least 3 dark colors you're going to do. So even if it's different values, by values I mean light or dark. You know, you can have a dark, dark purple, a light purple, an even lighter purple. You know, you could do something like that. Like you can see here, this is a brown, orange, and a red, all on the dark side. Welcome to the dark side. And then I have a red and a yellow and an orange on the bright side. Okay, so you want to make sure that whatever colors you pick, you have like 3 that are going to be dark and 3 that are going to be light. Could be the same color, you just need 1 dark and 1 light. Okay? Alright. Alright, so swirl tap that big boy. And to make my colors right, so I want brown. So I'm going to grab red, yellow, grabbing from the sides, some white, and some blue. Just because it happened to be in my white, so I'm gonna make this brown with my blue this time. All right, and if you're mixing it all together and you're getting like a green, grab more red. Grab more red. Okay. This is kind of like a mocha color. I'm digging it. I'm going to keep it. Alright, so with my darker color, you want this on Big Boy, and you want to pull Big Boy nice and flat again, okay? And you're going to go to different spots on your tree, and all you're going to do is make these squares, just like that. So all I did was put Big Boy on here and pull down and stop. Alright, so you're going to just make these random squares. Do they all have to be on your limbs? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Alright, so I'm starting with my dark color. And I'm just going to put these randomly on my tree. So, obviously, if you screwed part of your tree up, you want to put them there. Just to let you know. So, you're going to put these randomly all around where your tree is. And do they have to go where your limbs are? Absolutely not. You can have these suckers floating around if you want to. It's all good. All good. Big decisions we have, right? Big decisions. So, if you screwed up a spot, put a square over it. Alright? Alright. You guys feeling me? And if you have globs on your brush, you're going to get globs on your painting. So make sure when you're refilling Big Boy, you're wiping them off on the sides. Now, put more dark ones than you actually think you're going to want, alright? Just put, like if you look at it and you're like, oh, I don't want any more dark ones. Put some more. Because they're going to be your base for putting the lighter ones on, okay? So if you're looking at your painting and you're like, I really don't want any more dark. I want it to be bright and happy and fun. Put some more anyway. Alright? Listen to what I'm saying. Listen, Linda, listen. Put some more anyway. And go off your canvas with them. Don't stay in the safe zone. You can go right off your canvas with these suckers. And you can go right on your trunk. Bam, just like that. Say there's a group of leaves right there. I don't know. Somewhere. Alright. So. I think that's pretty good with that set. Alright. Clean off Big Boy. Big Boy nice and clean. So, that brown I made, I'm just going to add more red to it. I'm just going to add more red to it to give myself a nice dark red. I'm just going to add more red to it. Let's see what happens. Let's see what I get. Alright, and it's kind of purpley, so that's cool. Alright, so I'm going to take that dark color and put them near these. Okay? Now, can you have them touching? Yes. Do not overlap like crazy because these are still wet and you're going to wind up having a big mush, alright? So, can they touch? Sure. But do not overlap completely because they're still wet. Alright, so you're going to put this pretty much wherever you have another one. Alright, so wherever you have another one, put one of these, okay? Sneak one in there somehow. Sneak one in there somehow. Sneak them on in there. We're sneaking squares. That's what we're doing, people. Sneaking squares. Oh, yeah. These are a lot of fun to do. You can have a lot of fun with the colors. All up to you. It's your world. It's your tree. Like I said, if you feel like you have enough dark ones, just put a couple more. This is very random. No real pattern or rhyme or reason. Wherever I put one of those brown ones, I'm going to put some of these red ones in. Some of these dark red ones. That's all. And am I paying any attention to my limbs or my twigs or my branches or anything that I did before? No. I'm not. I mean, unless you screwed one up, then cover it up. That's what I'm telling you. That's my rule right there. If you screwed one of them up, cover it. Okay? That makes painting fun, right? You get to cover all your oopsies. What did Bob Ross used to say? There's no mistakes in painting. Just happy accidents. That's what we're doing. Happy accidents here. Whole bunch of happy accidents that turn into beautiful artwork. Made by you guys. Made by my family. Made by my family. Alright, so you put these in. Like I said, don't do too much overlapping unless they're dry. If they're dry, you can. But I know we just painted these on, so they're probably not dry yet. And if you have globs on your brush, you're going to get globs on your painting, because I've already done that twice. So make sure it's only a thin amount. See how goopy mine is? I'm not following my own instructions. I got to wipe that big boy off. Make them nice and thin again. Make them nice and thin again. So wherever I see a dark one, I'm going to put another dark square by it. That's what I'm going to do. So remember that sky you were so stressing over before? Now you guys are painting and you're like, what sky? There is no sky. Alright, done with that. Roll tap that big boy. Dark color number 3. Dark color number 3. So I'm going to take that weird dark color I just had. I'm going to grab yellow. Let's see what comes out of that. Why not? Why not, right? Let's see what happens. Ooh, I'm getting like a chestnut color now. I'm getting like a chestnut color. I'm digging it. Look at that. See that? All I did was use that same pile of mess I had before. I just threw yellow in it. Why not, right? So I'm getting this chestnut color. I like that. I'm going to roll with that. Okay, same thing. Wherever you had one of those dark ones, put this in there now. And you could probably overlap the first dark ones, but leave the second color ones alone. Alright, so you can overlap those brown boys that you did before, or whatever dark color you chose. But leave the ones you just painted alone, okay? Because you're just going to wind up smearing them. And you're not going to get happy, crisp little squares like this. Alright, so wherever I put those dark ones before, I'm going to add this one. And I didn't really get picky with my color choices. If you guys are trying to make a certain color and you're not really getting it, just ask me. I'll tell you how to make it. Okay? Because I didn't get very particular with the colors I chose to put on this. So it's not matching my original colors I had in the painting. But if there was some color in that painting that you want to know and you're having a hard time trying to make it, just ask me. I'll show you. I'll show you how you do it. I don't mind. That's what I'm here for. Help you guys create. So I am just going wherever I put those other dark ones and putting this guy along with them. And if you're going to overlap something, make sure the one you're overlapping on top is dry. Okay? Because you don't want it to be a mushy mess. And make sure you don't have any globs on your brush either. Okay? How's everybody doing? You doing good? How's my newbies doing? How you doing, Heather? How you doing, Darcy? Darcy, you're not a newbie. Canupriya, how you guys doing? You doing good? You with me? I didn't put you to sleep. Any certain colors you want, you don't know how to do? Canupriya is good. Canupriya got that thumbs up thing down. She's like, I'm good. She's like, stop talking to me, Eve. I'm trying to paint. Right, Hannah? Tammy used to say that to me all the time. She's like, I can't answer you. I'm trying to paint. Good. Good stuff. Alright. So, I'm going to pull Big Boy paint out of him. I'm going to put him in the water. And all this needs to dry a second. Okay? So, everybody, let it dry. That means stop painting on it. Because if you don't let it dry, we're going to be doing the brighter colors next. And you're going to wind up with a big mushy mess. So, you got to let it dry. Oh yeah, everyone excited for this one? Hannah's excited. This one's going to be a process, but we can do it. It's drawing a lot of excitement, so it should be a really fun time. Oh, you know what I wanted to ask you guys? So, now, I don't do the majority wins anymore. Because I used to have everybody vote on which painting out of the 3 they want to paint. I made my life a little simpler and just started posting one. So my question to you is, after Wizard of Oz, do you guys want to do more fall? Or do you want me to switch to Christmas? That's my question. Because Wizard of Oz is going to be on the 20th. And then the 27th is going to be Thanksgiving. So I can do a fall one on the 27th and then switch to Christmas. Or we can just go right into Christmas and forget about fall for Thanksgiving. Lord knows I have enough paintings of each kind. Or if you have any suggestions, definitely send me your ideas. Message me, Christmas Hannah, message me your ideas, okay? Do not post them to my events. Because there's some sneaky peeks out there, right? So if you have an idea, message it to me through Facebook Messenger. Christmas, Hannah's all for Christmas. All right. Well, I know Tammy wants a Christmas hippo. I know that much. Darcy, Hannah, Canapriya, Heather. Oh, Hannah, you just answered me. I'm telling you, this stuff's starting to get to me. We got to vote for Christmas. Christmas in the house. I did notice a lot of the other paint party people are doing Christmas already. A Christmas sloth? All right, I'll write that down. I was asked for a sloth a long time ago, but another business did it, and I didn't want to be like piggybacking. You know what I mean? Like, I try to be very careful and give other businesses their space. So, but I was asked for a sloth a long time ago. I could definitely do a cute sloth with like a Christmas hat on, his little claws holding a present. That would definitely work. All right, guys, you want to make sure you have clean white paint, because what we're going to do is we're actually going to do all our other squares in white, because this way, when you put your brighter colors on it, it's really going to pop. If you ever want anything, a snowy wonderland, I have one that's a snowy wonderland with a swing and a kitty cat sitting on the swing. I have one like that. But that's hanging in a gallery right now. But I do have one like that. Alright, so we're going to do, if you ever want a color to pop using acrylic paint, paint white first. And then whatever color you put on top of it will come out better and brighter. Alright, so make sure you give Big Boy a nice big swirl. The more you swirl, the cleaner he gets. Tap, dab him. Alright, get all that color out of him. I'm going to cheat because my sink's right here. I have a working sink. Yes. My kitchen being redone, I was sinkless for a good 3 weeks. Christmas gnomes? Ooh, I like that idea too. Boy, we're not going to have enough weeks. Hannah, were you painting with me when I did There's No Place Like Gnome? That was, it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it had like 6, 7 gnomes in it. It's one of my older videos. You should check it out. I don't think you were painting with me back then, because I don't remember a gnome picture with a chihuahua in it. You should totally check that out. Alright, so this is basically dry, and you're just going to grab white paint. And wherever you're going to want your brighter colors, put the white paint in, okay? So, as long as your squares are dry, you can put these suckers right over the top of them. So wherever you're going to want your bright colored squares, you just want to put a white square for now, okay? So, you know, put a couple of white squares in one section. See that? Whoops. That's what spit's for. And good thing I had the cloud back there. I can just smash that right into looking like a cloud. Alright, so put a couple of white squares in, because that's where your bright colors are going to go. Oh, you didn't yet, Hannah. Check that video out. You're going to like it. It was called There's No Place Like Gnome. And it was a bunch of gnomes by a little house. A close-up of ornaments. I have one like that too. Ornaments get tricky, especially if you try to make them look like glass. I'm writing all this down, guys. Just to let you know. See, look, I'm writing all your ideas down. So, Heather, Darcy, and Canapriya, chime in if you want to. If you want to see something, let me know. do a big ornament with a sloth pictured on it. I'm gonna do like a combo. Alright, so wherever my dark ones are, I'm just overlapping and putting these white squares in. Okay? So you guys all need to do the same. Alright. That's all I'm doing. It's a very simple painting with great results. With great results. And like I said, guys, if there's a color that you want that I'm not doing, you let me know, alright? Yeah, and didn't you just post that you need to catch up on your paintings, and I just gave you another painting to do? Oh my goodness. Too funny. Oh, and don't do what I just did. I totally just covered up one that I painted on before, so try not to undo your work by covering it up completely. You know, because, you know, leave that stuff for the experts like me. Totally covering up what I painted before. I know, Hannah, I know. Don't hit me with the stress of perfection. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. So, in a perfect world, I'd have you do 2 coats on this white. In a perfect world. But I don't want you guys watching me until midnight, so we're just going to go right on ahead. But the one thing with acrylic paint, the more layers you do of a color, the brighter it gets. The brighter it gets. You know, I'm going to get really creative over here. Watch out, world. You ready? I'm going to put some squares down here like they fell off the tree. Just because, you know, I'm crazy like that. So I'm going to put some squares floating down here. Like the leaves fell off the tree. Call me nuts. Call me crazy, I know. But I'm kind of liking that idea. So I'm going to put some of these bad boys down at the bottom, not attached to anything. Like they fell off. And if you notice me counting, it's because I want to do odd numbers. odd numbers aesthetically, for some reason, are always more pleasing. Now, you don't have to do the guys floating off if you don't want to. That's up to you. You get creative any way you want to get creative. That's just what I'm going to do. You guys can add like a birdhouse if you want, or a little bird if you want to, or Hannah's going to add a chihuahua. Oh, you just did the same thing, Nancy? Good for you. Good for you. I love it. I love it. Good for you, Nan. Good for you. Alright, I think I have enough. Don't get nutty, Chris. Don't be getting all crazy on us. Oh, I need one more. I need one more. I need one more. It needs to be right here. Yep. Now I have enough. Alright, guys. We only have 2 steps left. And you guys are going to have an amazing fall tree. It looks kind of wicked right now with all this on it. So we only have 2 steps left. Good job. You guys are so good. You're so awesome. Make sure you have 3 bright colors you want to use next. So I'm going to be using red, yellow, and orange. It's up to you guys, whatever colors you want to make next. Go right ahead. You got to give these a minute to dry now. There's a lot of drying in this one because we don't want a big mushy mess. Okay? So after this, we're going to be adding our bright colors to our squares. Super, super fun. And then one more step after that, and we are done. Woo! Silly, silly. Hey, everybody. Alright, so I'm going to swirl tap dab that big boy while I'm waiting. And I'm going to make my orange. So orange, really simple. It's just red. Find a clean spot on my palette here. Red. And yellow. Red and yellow. Red and yellow. Mix those all together. If it's looking a little too red, add more yellow. Okay, if it's looking a little too red for you, add more yellow. So we're going to mix those two together. And since we have the white down already, we don't have to add white for the red, yellow, and orange to show up. That's why we put it down in the first place. Okay, so normally I'd have you add white to this, put it on, and then add your color over it. But since we already put the white down, we don't have to do that step. I mean, you can do that step. You can add white to these colors, put it on your squares, and then go back and add the color on top of that. I mean, if you want major, major poppage. But for time's sake, I'm just going to put it on top of my white squares. Alright, so after mixing that, I got all globs in my brush, so I'm going to pull those out. Alright, I'm going to swirl tap that big boy, because I'm going to start off with my yellow. Because yellow might need a second coat. Yellow, red, orange, these all might need a second coat. We'll find out once we get them on there. They might need a second coat, and that's okay. That's quite alright. I think you guys can handle doing that. I think you can handle doing a second coat on there. So, I'm going to start with my yellow. Bam, just like that. Right on top of my white square. And there it is. So, you just want to and if you have globs on your brush, guess what? You're going to get globs on your painting. So, make sure you wipe the sides of Big Boy on your palette. And you can pick wherever you want to put these colors. Wherever you want to put them. Anywhere you want them. Anywhere you want it, that's the way you want it. Anywhere you want it. Anywhere you want the yellow to be. Your tree, your world. And if you get a little off of your white right there, just smush with your finger. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So I'm going to add these on. Okay, wherever I want yellow. That's so cool, man. That's so cool that you had the same idea of the fallen leaves. I love it. I love when you guys get creative. The more creative, the better. Now, I know in my last video, I said that we were going to do the Wizard of Oz one this week, but a certain little someone isn't painting with us tonight, and I know she was really, really excited about it, so I made it next week. And I'm sure you guys that have painted with me before know exactly who I'm talking about. Alright, so I got the yellow ones. I'm going to swirl, tap, dab my brush. Clean all that yellow out of there. Go into my orange. Put my orange ones in. And see how these are popping? Because we put the white down first. So, you can put the orange ones wherever you want. There's really no rhyme or reason to this. We have the dark ones behind it. And the light ones are going to go on top. And I hope you used all these little leaf squares to hide any of your branch mistakes that you might have made, because that's totally allowed. Totally allowed. Go. And you just spread these around randomly, you know? You just want the different pops of color spread out through the whole tree. So you just spread them out randomly. You know what I mean? You don't want too much in one spot. You want to have it all spread throughout the tree. Okay? So that's what I'm doing. I'm just doing random spots throughout my whole tree of these different colors. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Okay, so as you're doing this, like, stand back and look at your tree a little bit, and you're like, oh, maybe I need to put it over on this spot, or maybe I need some over there. You know, look at your whole entire thing and take a look at it and be like, ooh, I need some over there, or, you know, wherever you think. Alright, so I'm good with my orange. And I'm going to swirl, tap, dab my brush and do my red. Now I'm going to swirl, tap, dab, good old big boy here. And do my red. And then get your tinies ready. We're going to be using tiny next. And like I said, if you want to wait to do the last step to put a second coat on these, you can. The more coats of paint you put on them, the more they're going to pop. So it's completely up to you. I'm obviously not going to wait because I don't think you guys want to be watching me until midnight. If you do, thanks. So I am not going to wait. I am going to show you the last step. But if you want to go over these with another coat of paint first, before you do the last step, that is completely up to you. Completely up to you. So, I'm just filling in the rest of my squares with the red. That's all I'm doing. All we're doing. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, people. So Hannah and Nancy, you like where the picture is now? You like this setup? Because I don't have the counter in my kitchen anymore. So I came up with this setup. I think it works better. I think you guys can see what I'm doing better. And there's no more glare on it. Remember the glare I used to get? What do you guys think? You like it better? Hope so. Don't forget to wipe your brush off so you don't have globs. And there's a Facebook page groups out there starting now with, they all watch like paint parties and stuff. They're pretty cute. Like if you search on Facebook and put paint party groups or paint and sip groups, there's a couple of groups out there and everybody on there shares their work and shares who they're painting with. Tammy found one. So, if you guys are interested, there's like there's groups out there that actually share all about their paintings and who they're painting with and all that good stuff. I'm still trying to figure out how to get on YouTube, but I guess I'll figure that out in a minute. Yeah, you're part of one of those, Hannah? That's totally cool. Share the link with me. I'll have to share the link with you, the one that Tammy found, if you'd like me to. I thought for you, Nancy, that might be something fun for you to talk about all your artwork with that you've been doing lately, because you're getting so good. Hannah, did you know Nancy has never painted before? She started painting with us. And she's awesome. So, I'm just going back and throwing a second coat over some of these. You know me. You know I can't like leave it alone until it's nice and bright and in your face. Because that's just the way I am. So, I'm just going and hitting a second coat on some of these. While you guys are doing your pieces. Oh! Gotcha. I got you, Hannah. Okay, good. I'm glad you like the new setup because, well, number one, there's probably not much I could do about it, but number two, I'm kind of digging it. It's a little more professional looking, I think. I mean, the counter was good to hold all my stuff, but it took up too much of my house. So, out it went. Alright, so I'm going to stop playing, and I'm going to let these dry a minute, and we're going to be using Tiny, so swirl, tap, dab, Tiny. And you want to make sure your black paint is nice and loose, so if it got a little globby sitting there, you just add a drip of water to it, okay? So if your black paint got globby, look, I'm just going to add some water to it and swirl it in because you want it nice and loose. See? Nice and loose. See how it's kind of goopy up here? Adding the water gets it nice and loose. Not a lot because then you're going to make the paint see-through, but enough just to thin it out a bit. Just to thin it out. Okay? See how this is nice and thin? And this is goopy? We don't want goopy. We want nice and thin. Okay. So, it's time for Tiny. It's time for the Tiny. Okay, so what we're going to do with Tiny, let me show you on the original. See how I have these twigs now? Going over some of my squares and like see how this one's coming and then it's hiding behind that square and coming out the other side? Alright, so we're going to add depth to our tree and dimension. So, ease, artistry, insight time. Ooh, well, I kind of messed up the little effect I do there, but okay. So, depth and dimension. Depth and dimension means that you're adding layers so things look like they're further in the back and other things look like they're closer to the front. So when somebody says that they have depth to their painting, that means that it looks like it's going in layers further and further and further back. Like, remember when we did Rainbow Forest and I said all the things in the back and then bring it up close? That's depth and dimension. Okay, so we're going to put all these twigs in, and miraculously, as you paint these over some of your squares, they're automatically going to look like they're behind it, and that's going to add your depth. Okay, so Eve's Artistry Insight. Depth and dimension is very simply stating that you have things done in layers to where some of it looks further back than the other parts of it. That's all it is. All right, so we're going to do that right now, and that is our last step. So you take your tiny, and you made that nice thin black for yourself. Now remember, tiny's not a marker. You have to keep filling it. You want to put some paint on your tiny and then roll tiny. Make sure he has a nice point on him. All right, make sure your tiny has a nice point. Thin amount of paint and not pressing hard. You hold this like a pencil. Now, you can lean. Make sure you don't lean on any wet spots. And see this branch coming through here? I'm just going to follow along the branch that I already painted on and fill it back in. Okay, so look. I'm just very simply just going by the branch that was behind, that was already there, that I covered up. And of course I just put my hand in one of my orange leaves. But I'm going to follow along that branch I already painted, that I painted in, but then I painted over it with a square. And by doing that, it's going to add depth. See? And all I did was repaint the branch in that was in before. I'll do the same thing on this one, just so you can see what I'm talking about. So I need to grab more paint. I have to make sure tiny's nice and thin. And see this branch? I'm very simply just going to paint that back in. And when I do that, it looks like that brown leaf is right behind the branch again. Okay, guys? So, you want to do this throughout your tree. You also, I don't like that tiny, it keeps separating on me, so I'm going to grab a different tiny. Again, the benefits of having a paint party business. You also want to turn around and you follow along what you did, and you're going to pull out and put little twigs on everything. Okay? So, you want to follow along what you already painted. You can turn around and repaint the branch in. So you can repaint the branch in. Put some of these leaves behind it. I keep putting my hand in that orange that I was second coating. See, that's what I get. Alright, so you're repainting the branch in. And then I'm going to turn around, and coming off of that, I'm going to follow along what I already did. Pull out. Very, very light touch. And put my twigs. Very, very light touch. Make sure there's a point on your brush. You have to keep refilling your brush with paint. You have to keep wiping the globs off of it. And you just follow along what you painted and put the twigs in, okay? that's it. That is the last step, to add all this extra detail and depth and dimension to your tree. You can put these wherever you want to. You could turn around and do a lot, do a little. You know, maybe you have a leaf that you're like, ooh, I didn't like how that came out. It looks a little yucky. If you put a twig right in front of it, just like that, it disappears. It disappears in the background. So at the end of all my twigs, I'm going to put these the end of all my branches, I'll get the names of the tree parts right eventually here. At the end of my branches, I'm going to put all these little twig-like things. And again, just make sure there's a point on your brush, an extremely light touch, and just let it wiggle. Alright? Now, see how I had this spot here? And I really just had it floating out in space. I didn't have it connecting to anything. Alright, so I'm very simply going to come off of my tree. And put a branch through that. That's how you do that. Alright, so if you have any like little floater sections out there, and you're like, oh, well that's not really connecting or anything, you can just put a branch going to it. And skip over some of your squares so they look like they're out front and the other ones look like they're behind it, okay? See how I skipped over that yellow one? So when you skip over one, alright, let's do over here, okay? So I'm going to extend that branch through the brown one, and I'm going to put a twig up to that yellow one. But I'm going to skip over it. So I'm going to pull out, I'm going to go up to the yellow one, and in my imagination, I'm going to follow how that would have went through there. Same with this one. Follow how that went through there, and then just come out the other side. See? Just like that. And make sure you're wiping your tiny off. You're getting rid of the globs. You have a nice point on there. And you're going to do this throughout the pieces of your tree. And as you do this, it's going to get depth and dimension. It's going to get depth and dimension. Just like that, without even trying hard. Alright guys, that is all I have left to show you. I'm going to be playing around a little more. So, hey, I just wanted to thank everybody for painting with me tonight. This is Eve, Eve's Creations Paint Party. I'm giving you half a face because I had an infection, so this side of my face doesn't look so great. So we're gonna do a half face instruction tonight because I don't want to gross you all out. And my vanity's taking the best of me. But anyway, thank you so much guys for painting with me tonight. This is Eve from Eve's Creations Paint Party. If you have any questions for me, please message me. If any of you are watching the replay, thank you so much for watching me. Thank you so much, family, for painting with me. I really appreciate it. Hannah, Darcy, Canopriya, and Heather, love you all. You warm my heart. And I will be here again at 7 o'clock next Friday night. And it's always free to watch. Gratuities are appreciated. I will put the link in the comments section. Thank you so much for your Christmas ideas. Thank you so much guys for watching me. And mwah, go create, alright? And I can't wait to see your creations, so make sure you post them. Alright, thank you. Alright, so that was all my official stuff, guys. So, let me just post the gratuity links here. That one, and there's this one. Okay. Thanks, Hannah. Thanks for painting with me. I love painting with you guys. So thank you so much for checking in. And thank you, Heather and Canopria for joining me, and Darcy and Nancy. Thank you guys so much for painting with me tonight. And everybody else who was watching, there's Tammy and Carol and Linda and Julie and Pat and Gail were watching earlier, and anybody on the replay, thank you so much for painting with me tonight. How you doing, Nancy? How you doing, Darce? How you doing, Heather? How you doing, Canopria? Hope everything's good. I'm going to paint some branches with you. Okay? You let me know if you need anything. I can't wait to see where you put your puppy, Hannah. Night, Darcy. And prayers for you-know-who. I hope she's doing well. Love you. Nancy, you went rogue? I like the sound of that, actually. I like the sound of that. I'm glad that you went rogue. I'm glad you're getting creative. I can't wait to see it, Nance. Oh, on the lips? Okay. Oh, then I'm really excited. That's the one that Heather said she painted with me, and that's why she came back to this one. So that's really cool. And you know, if you need any help, just message me, all right, hon? I keep putting my hand in what I already painted before. I think I'm going to churn this, so I stop doing that. You think? Think maybe that's a good idea that I churn this so I stop putting my hand where it was before? Probably. Probably a good idea, Eve. Probably a good idea to churn the painting so you don't put it where it was, your hand where the paint was. See, and you don't have to keep your paint in a certain way. You could churn it and flip it around. If it's easier to paint a certain spot by just moving the canvas around, go for it. You know, if you keep putting your hand into the paint like I was, like it might be better that you move your painting around. Yeah, so make sure you post that, Nance, when you're all done. I want to see it, okay? Okay, guys, I'm going to be finishing a few more details here, and then I'm going to be logging off. So if you have any questions, let me know. And I hope you had fun. That's the whole point. Make sure you have fun. Cute. Alright guys, thank you very much. You all have a great night. Mwah. And go create, okay? I'll see you all next time. Bye.